Good evening and welcome to the news. First, let us take a look at the headlines. 405 students from India, Bhutan and Nepal evacuated through Dauki in Meghalaya from Bangladesh amidst violent protest. Meghalaya government clarifies stance on migrant worker document checks, says there is no provision in the law for a work permit. 108 emergency service employees to receive 4% salary hike. Demand of another group of workers is being considered. And Tuber Bedin Clown Festival concludes with symbolic rituals and large footfall. The news in detail. The Meghalaya government has successfully evacuated over 405 individuals, including students and tourists, from Bangladesh through the Dauki land port in West Giant Hills district on July 18th and 19th. This includes 80 students from Meghalaya, 131 from other Indian states, 249 from Nepal and 8 from Bhutan, as well as 4 tourists. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma informed that approximately 36 students from the state remain stranded in Bangladesh amidst a violent protest related to reservations. Meanwhile, over 300 Indian students in Bangladesh were forced to return home as clashes between the anti-quota protesters and security forces resulted in the killing of at least 104 and injuring over 2,500 people so far. The neighboring nation has been witnessing widespread protests for weeks over the reintroduction of a reservation in government jobs.
About 405 students from India have been evacuated from Bangladesh through Dauki, and out of them about 80 are from our state of Meghalaya itself, and then the rest are from other parts of the state of the country. We also have the students from Bhutan and Nepal also who were there, and some tourists who were stuck, who again crossed the border from Dauki side. So the movement is on. We have already got our nodal officers here in the state, as well as we have in touch with the Indian embassy in Dhaka.
Meghalaya government has made it clear that nobody has the right to conduct checking of documents of migrant workers, and if such things persist, the law will take its own course. Work permit means the implementation of the Interstate Migrant Act, which does not have any provision for work permit, but has a provision for registration of laborers done by the contractor or the employer. If they are 4 or more coming to a state, they have to come through this particular act and register. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma said there is no provision in the law when it comes to work permit.
There is no provision in the law when it comes to the work permit as such. There is no word called work permit. There was a particular notification to which I'm presuming that individuals and organizations are referring to, which use the word work permit, but later on clarified that the word work permit refers to the application of the Interstate Migrant Act. So therefore, that particular notification also ultimately came out with a corrigendum saying that work permit is not the actual word, but work permit means the implementation of the Interstate Migrant Act, which does not have any provision for work permit.
The State Cabinet on Friday approved the renaming of several roads and buildings in the state, including renaming a road in Tura in honor of late Bishop George Mamalasiri. P.A. Sangma Road to Holy Cross Hospital in Tura has been renamed as Bishop George Mamalasiri Road. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma said the road, which was earlier known as Holy Cross Road, will now be renamed in memory of the longest-served Catholic bishop in Tura, Bishop George Mamalasiri, who passed away on July 5th, 2024.
Total 10 roads were renamed, and two different buildings were also renamed. The P.A. Sangma Road going towards the Holy Cross Hospital, which was earlier named as the Holy Cross Road, will be named as Bishop Mamalasari Road, late Bishop George Mamalasari Road. That also has been finalized. This, of course, is in memory of late Bishop Mama, who...
The state government has informed that the salary of the 108 emergency service employees will be hiked by 4%. Health Minister Amprin Lingdot said that they have agreed, therefore, to re-sign those contracts with the 108 workers, permitting, after consultation, a 4% increase in their salaries because these were pending before the National Health Mission under the Department of Health. Lingdot said she had received a representation that there is another group of workers like EROs, pilots and receptionists in the 108 who are still dissatisfied with the 4% hike and they wanted 1% more increment.
Agreed, therefore, to re-sign those contracts with the 108 workers, permitting, after consultation, a 4% increase in their salaries, because these were pending before the Department of Health under the NHM.
A group of nurses from the state on Friday met with the Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Amprin Lingdot, and urged her to cancel the temporary recruitment announcement for more than 300 nurses for various hospitals located in all parts of the state. They also urged the Minister to cancel the recent recruitment exam of the contractual staff nurses due to concerns about fairness and transparency, and that the recruitment should be conducted on a permanent basis to ensure jobs security and stability.
Minso yahab ya katuka chipmi ya katuka post kaba dated 8 of July 2024 katuka ba kadeka recruitment joki contractual staff nurse di kalong ningkong ya kaban cancel ya kanika recruitment daka contractual namar bang minso yahab ya kabang insu sha recruit kumka daka contractual post.
Maukarwat MLA Renington Lingdot Tongkar inspected the construction works for the Maukarwat Greater Water Supply Scheme and the Mausau Combined Water Supply Scheme, which was funded at Rs 59 crores and Rs 18 crores respectively under the Jal Jeevan Mission. Speaking to media persons, Tongkar expressed happiness that the overall progress of the construction works for the Maukarwat Greater Water Supply Scheme has reached about 70%, while the Mausau Combined Water Supply Scheme has reached about 60%. He also said that according to the observation of the officers, both the projects might be completed between December 2024 to March 2025.
Kila bon kila tamme ka 50%. Kata ka masuk man hado kata progress kala tamme ka 50% haman laki item ka bangio bangi pek bar kidon ro kibala jan poi satang bandep no kibala poi hado 70% hado 80% ro kibala poi ka completion stage. Tenga da sokman hado kata kum no mekmat banyo iba kan de kajing persang jungi kalong successful wala kala don kajing rit musim kajing ting mensuala kila na bantrei ki lokal kontraktor jungi te hendrei habangila persang yo ya kajing la jugi di gibru jungi nga.
Two young football talents from Maulong Ripoy district have been selected to undergo training at the Sporto Soccer Club Residential Academy in Wayanad, Kerala. Refinement Rinshong, aged 14, and Balawanpai Matong, aged 14, will receive intensive coaching from seasoned professionals over a span of 4 years, alongside pursuing their academic studies. Nongpo MLA Meral Bonsiam extended his congratulations to these promising athletes and presented them with a cash reward of Rs 25,000 to support their journey.
Kini arbot ki har kabret ki de wala sha select the way like ki academy ki ba pau ko bari di juni sport ko soccer residential academy kabadan hanti hapo Wayanad hapo kajela Kerala kila sha jit kepang atau trial kabada penlong to ngene ka dong thai di juni kaba kila syajid na kota ban tertibit bani da kai football hagaju football na kota ban pendet jing pule joki.
The biggest betting clown festival in Giant Hills district, organized by the Saint Right to Bear, concluded on Friday at Tuberk Mai Shnong village in East Giant Hills. The event attracted a large footfall. Some of the key rituals that were performed included Knya Rinkau, an oblation to the goddess who guards over the rite, conducted by the priest or Ulingdo. Another symbolic ritual, Kabe Klam, involved Saint Right members running with sticks from the west to the east end of the village, beating anything in their path to drive away plague. The last two rituals performed before and after immersion of all rods brought to Atnar were Kayatan Bhang and Yaslat. About 68 rods were brought to Atnar from over 28 villages on Friday. The closing ceremony was attended by Arts and Culture Minister Paul Lingdo as the chief guest. Revenue and Disaster Management Minister Kerman Shilla. The prestigious 133rd Durand Cup trophies were prominently displayed in a roadshow in Tura, West Garo Hills, organized by the Indian Armed Forces and supported by the government of Meghalaya. The event celebrated a historic moment for Meghalaya as it will host Durand Cup matches for the first time. The roadshow featured the iconic trophies parading through the streets of Tura amidst cheers and applause. The convoy, adorned with the cherished trophy, traversed key locations including Nazing Bazar, Arabail, Tetenkol and Hawakhana before culminating at the PA Sangma Stadium. At each stop, local officials and spectators gathered for flag-off ceremonies and festive.
All the sports enthusiasts and players alike has been looking forward to this tournament such a long time, and this is not only a sport that gives us the pleasure of watching these kind of games, but also it unites us together.
In Women's Asia Cup T20 cricket, defending champions India beat Pakistan by 7 wickets in their opening game of the tournament at Dambulla in Sri Lanka last evening. Chasing a target of 109 runs, Indian Eves overhauled the score with 7 wickets in hand and 35 balls to spare. Indian openers Smriti Mandhana with 45 runs and Shefali Verma with 40 runs made a valuable contribution for women in blue. The weather report. The maximum temperature was 27.2 degrees Celsius and the minimum temperature was 18.2 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity in the morning was 88%, while in the evening was 68%. The forecast, light to moderate rain and thundershower is very likely to occur at many places. Before we wind up, here are the headlines once again. 405 students from India, Bhutan and Nepal evacuated through Dauki in Meghalaya from Bangladesh amidst violent protest. Meghalaya government clarifies stance on migrant worker document checks, says there is no provision in the law for a work permit. 108 emergency service employees to receive 4% salary hike. The demand of another group of workers is being considered. And Tuber Betting Clown Festival concludes with symbolic rituals and large footfall. And that's all we have in the news for today. Do join us again tomorrow at the same time, same channel. Good night.